Hello, welcome to my studio in Arlington, Virginia, or rather my virtual studio on the internet. I do hope this finds you safe and well. It's been a crazy time, and I'm filming this in August, so not sure what September is going to bring, but stay healthy. Big thanks to Arlington Studio Tour for organizing this. It's really important to have this exposure, even if it's virtual. Wish you could come see this actual space, but really glad to have this, and really glad to have this studio. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a sculptor. I do assemblage using found objects, and I often cover them in black acrylics. I also make components out of resin, crystals, LED lights, sometimes use finishes, including encaustic or watercolor, really kind of a mixed media approach. The pieces are reminiscent of cabinets of curiosity, and they are based and inspired by psychological phenomena, perceptions, what makes us tick, the way that we are motivated and form opinions. My background is actually in psychology. I studied psychology and then moved on to interior design, exhibition design. I have a background in craft with a focus on ceramics. And then in 2012, I started doing this and became a studio artist. So without further ado, let me show you some of these pieces. This is part of a piece I call Final Thoughts. It's a resin casting of a medical model of a brain, and it's part of a larger piece, which I'll show you in full. It's made out of found objects, velvet, as well as a cyanotype on satin banner. The inspiration for this piece was the idea that we ascribe certain thoughts and emotions and actions to mythological, historical, and religious figures, that in ways that suit certain agendas, but that we can't actually really know. So that's what inspired that piece. I call this piece Obey. It's assembled from a 1950s toy oven and an 1890s Eastlake chair back. It has a vintage leather punching bag. The chair back has velvet and a cyanotype and a prosthetic eye in the center. I'm going to show you the punching bag as well, which has sort of a beehive spray painted on. This was inspired by the story of Saint Rita, which is a story that sort of hints at the very, very traditional female gender roles that value silence and obedience and the tolerance of domestic abuse. It's really a very sad story, so that's what that's about. This is a piece I called Hawkins Museum for Cockroaches, based on the idea that when humans are gone, the cockroaches will be the only ones left, and they will get to enjoy all the beautiful art and science and technology that we've created. I often like to look at how science, religion, and superstition intersect. So I was looking at the story of the apocalypse in the Bible, as well as an article that I read written by Stephen Hawking for The Guardian, in which he kind of outlines a doomsday scenario. So there's different symbolic aspects to it from all different angles. Just to highlight some of them, here's a apocalyptic lamb with 7 eyes, and it has actual mosquitoes in it because one of Hawkins' fears was epidemics, which obviously we're living through right now. At the time, it was Zika. So just different aspects that are doomsday scenarios. There's a doomsday clock at the top, just to kind of show you around. It contains resin, paper sculptures, velvet, furs, photography, crystals, found objects, and plaster. Just to give you a little general overview of my space, these are some pieces that I've been working on this year. They're based on Rorschachs, and they're little watercolor and mixed media sketches. Here are some cyanotypes, as well as some geodes that I've created using real crystals, and paper, rice paper is what I use. Here's just a little general overview of my work. I'm really very fortunate to have this studio space. It's about 200 square feet. And here's some of my work, just to show you what's in here. A few last things to wrap up. I hope that this has been informative. You can find me online. My website is zofieking.com. That's Zofie with a Z and an F. You can also find me at Zofie King on Instagram. And you can contact me either on my website or Instagram. My work is for sale, and the price range is very wide, so just don't be afraid to ask, or if you want to talk about any of the work. The piece that's behind me that we talked about, Final Thoughts, is going to be featured at the Taubman Museum of Art in Roanoke, Virginia, as part of the New Waves show. It's supposed to open in November and go through May. Fingers crossed. I also have a piece at the McLean Center for the Arts in the Sculpture Now exhibition, which opens in September. So hope our paths will cross. Be safe, be well, and be excellent to each other. Thank you so much.